You know what's the best thing about a diner breakfast? Of course you do. It's the hash browns. Those succulent, shredded potatoes that are crispy on the outside and soft within. They're a diner staple, and I can't imagine a hearty breakfast without them. But have you ever tried to cook hash browns at home? Maybe you have, and instead of those perfectly crispy shreds, you ended up with soggy strings. Well, fear not. After watching this video, you'll know how to make hash browns at home that are every bit as good as what you can get at a diner. Today, I'm going to share the secrets to making scrumptious hash browns at home. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook, and today we are making one of my favorites. We are making hash browns. Now, as I said in that intro, you've probably had hash browns at a diner, but if you've never eaten them before, hash browns are simply shredded potatoes that have been sizzled in a skillet or on a griddle in some butter or oil until they are nice and brown and crispy on the outside while remaining kind of soft and creamy inside. They are absolutely delicious. Now, hash browns are made from potatoes, and it's important that you buy the right ones. You're gonna want a potato like this, a starchy potato. This is a russet potato or an Idaho potato, the same kind that we would use to make mashed potatoes. What you don't want is a waxy potato like this. These little round, sometimes they're called boiling potatoes or fingerling potatoes. These are the waxy type, and well, just as with mashed potatoes, they don't really work that well in the recipe for hash browns. So make sure you buy a potato like this, and even better news, well, they're super cheap. You can buy a 10-pound bag of these things for just a few dollars. Now, as for equipment for making hash browns, you're going to want a skillet about 10 inches or larger. You can use something like cast iron or stainless steel. These are my preferred methods of cooking hash browns. You could also use a non-stick pan, or if you have it, a griddle. You'll also want some sort of shredding device, more on that in a minute, as well as a big bowl of cold water. And speaking of equipment, can I do a little show and tell with you? I found this at the thrift store this week. This is a Lodge cast iron griddle. Isn't this thing beautiful? I've never seen one this size. It's not too big, not too small. Now, this would work great for cooking those hash browns, but I haven't really seasoned this yet, and I want to season this properly before using it. But I just wanted to show this to you. Isn't this the coolest thing? Have you ever seen a griddle like this size? It's awesome, and I can't wait to use it. Okay, let's put this all into action, and the first thing we're going to do is either peel or scrub your potatoes well. If you want to use it with the skin on, you can just scrub them well. I prefer mine nice and peeled. For each serving, you can use about one large potato like this or a couple of smaller ones. Now it's time to shred, and you've got a couple options here. The first way is really low tech and inexpensive, and it's just using a box grater like this that you would use for cheese. But instead of cheese, you just grate your potatoes with it. And watch those fingers as you get toward the end. When I get just a little bit of a nub at the end, I usually just toss it or set it aside to cook separately. It's not worth risking your fingers or knuckles for that little extra bit. Ask me how I know. The second way is with a food processor with a grater attachment, like this vintage Hamilton Beach food processor that I bought at the thrift store years ago, and later I found some attachments on eBay including this grater. This makes short work of shredding potatoes. It only takes seconds and it makes you feel like a hero. For now, we'll just use this grater and make sure that you have a plate at the bottom to capture all those wonderful shreds. Okay, we've got our shreds, and this is super important tip number 1. Remember that bowl of cold water? You want to immediately place your shreds right here in it. This is going to do a couple of things. First and foremost, it's going to help prevent oxidation of these shreds. It's like if you leave these shreds out for just a second, they start to turn brown. They just look nasty. Now, that won't necessarily affect the taste of the hash browns, but it just doesn't look good. There's very little visual appeal. And as we learned early on in culinary school, you eat first with your eyes. The second thing this is going to do is help release some of those starches. So you just kind of want to swirl these shreds around, get off some of that excess starch. That can make the hash browns clumpy and just not that great. By doing this, you are already magnificently upping the quality of your hash browns. Now comes tip number 2 when making homemade hash browns, and this is perhaps the most important thing. You've got to squeeze the water out of those shreds, and there's a lot. If you just take these shreds and plop them into a pan, well, there's just too much water in these shreds. They'll turn soggy. They won't get brown and crispy. So you've got to get the water out of these shreds. That sounds kind of like an old Arnold Schwarzenegger line. You've got to get the water out of the shreds. Now here again, there's a couple ways to go about doing this. The traditional method is with some cheesecloth. You would put the shreds in the cheesecloth and you would just squeeze it until all the water comes out. But I'll tell you my secret method for doing it. It is with one of these. Remember this guy? This is our potato ricer, and you might remember we used this to make the creamiest, fluffiest mashed potatoes you've ever seen. Well, this also does a magnificent job of extracting the water from those shreds. Here's how. You simply load the chamber with the shreds just like this. I like to fill it all the way to the top, and then we squeeze. See all the water that is coming out of these? There's just a ridiculous amount of liquid in these shredded potatoes. But once you squeeze them out, well, you get these nice dry shreds that are ready for frying. So we'll do a couple more of these and then we will be ready to fry. Now to cook hash browns, heat a pan over medium or medium-low. You want the pan hot, but not too hot because this recipe takes time. Add butter and or oil to the pan. I like a combination of butter and grapeseed oil. When the butter melts and sizzles, add the hash browns in an even layer. Hear this sound? That's sizzling deliciousness right there. Press the shreds into a thin and even layer in the pan. And here's where I also like to add salt and pepper. And now we do one of the hardest things in cooking. We wait. You're going to want to wait 10 or 15 minutes or more before turning. The idea is to get the bottom brown but not burnt. You can take a peek around 10 minutes to see how they're doing. Just put your spatula underneath and lift lightly. When the bottom is mostly brown, we flip. This can be done with a large spatula or by loading the hash browns onto a plate and then flipping the plate back over the pan. Now we cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. At this point, you can either keep the hash browns in a disc shape or shred them up. It's totally your call. And your patience will soon be rewarded. When the bottom of the hash browns or the shreds are nicely browned and to your liking, you're done. And here we are. See, I told you your patience would be rewarded. Look at these beautiful, crispy hash browns. Now I left this kind of in the form of a pancake, but you can of course kind of mix it all together. Now of course you're thinking, well, how does it taste? Well, let me tell you right now. Amazing. This is bringing the diner home. Now, hash browns are traditionally a breakfast staple. You can serve them with eggs or an omelet, but this is so good that you might just be eating it anytime as a side dish to your main course, or well, maybe as a main course. It's that good, and I hope you try it. I think I'm not the only one who's ready to dig into these. Christine is here, and she has just been salivating. Well, get in there. Let me know what you think of our homemade diner style hash browns made for what's the cost of a potato? Like 10 cents? This is probably just like 10 cents to make. And hot out of the cast iron skillet.
Of course, is this all for me?
Yes, that is all for you. We're going to be making more, plenty more. Okay, trivia time. Last week I asked you to identify this device and several of you got it right. It is of course a tortilla press. This is what you use when you're making those oh so delicious homemade tortillas. You take a ball of masa, you put it in here, you clamp this down, and because of a fulcrum action, you just press this, it presses down into that ball of dough, and it makes a tortilla that is ready to be griddled and used for anything you want. Tacos, burritos, Okay, for this week's culinary trivia tool, that cast iron griddle wasn't the only thing I bought at the thrift store last week. I also bought this, and well, here again, folks, I'm actually stumped. I don't know what this is, but I know one of you, or maybe many of you do. If you know what this thing is, or can identify it, or just have a guess, put it in the comments below, and well, I guess we'll all find out the answer in the next video. Hey, if you liked this video on hash browns, buy a big bag of potatoes, because you are going to love this video on home fries. They are so easy to make. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.